Oh my gosh, what just happened? Because the perfect ideal dream scenario for the Eagles actually took place, as the Eagles got the best cornerback in the entire draft while not having to trade up to get him. So let's talk about the huge win that is, Quinyon's impact on the defense, and why James Bradberry's days are numbered. Plus, A.J. Brown got a contract extension. As the Birds are all in, Dallas is all out, and Atlanta is WTF. That and everything else that happened on night one. But first, let's run it. What's up, guys? What a night, and you can tell I have not gotten a whole lot of sleep because I was way too excited after that pick. But first off, I gotta say thank you to the over 26,000 live viewers between our streams last night and the 50,000 total, because we had an absolute blast. But don't worry, we're gonna do it again.
You think we need one more? You think we need one more? All right, we'll get one more.
By the way, also shout out to my guy Jason Blessing for winning that neon sign. I mean, not really that one, but the one that we were giving away last night. And you know what? Let's do this. I'm in such a good mood anyway after getting our guy that let's do another giveaway. Do me a favor and hit that sub button if you haven't, and then drop a like because we are all in a fantastic mood. And then head on to the comments section and type in Quinyon. FYI, make sure and check your spelling because the randomized spinner only pulls accurately spelled names. Now, after doing that, you'll automatically be entered into a randomized drawing for one lucky member to win a Quinyon Mitchell jersey tonight. So come hang out with us and let's get it. Because seriously, we got our guy.
We gotta do our first Eagles chant. Ready?
You can't tell me you don't love that. All right, fine. I understand the cautiously optimistic comments and the fact that there's the competition and everything else, but I'll get to the breakdown of why he's a perfect fit in just a sec. However, you knew this night was going to start out well since right before the draft started, the Eagles announced an extension with A.J. Brown to make him the highest paid wide receiver in NFL history, getting a 3-year extension for $96 million, keeping him here until 2029, and making his total guarantee of $84 million also the highest.
Spent a lot of dough. Wow.
I hear you, except it's really not if we think about the implications of this move. Like we've talked about on past shows, Justin Jefferson still needs to get signed. Oh yeah, and so does CeeDee Lamb. So while Jerry Jones decides to live in a world where waiting it out means all in, Howie Roseman just keeps winning.
We try to be proactive to try to keep this team together. That starts with Jeffrey and his support, like we talked about in our pre-draft press conference, and just talking about the benefits of trying to keep it together as much as we possibly can. And the only way we could possibly do that is by doing deals early. And, we felt like it was an opportunity to do that here with AJ. Obviously, we've done a bunch of deals with a bunch of our players, and we want to add to that. And we want to try to keep this team together as much as we possibly can. We couldn't do that without his support and allowing us to do that. And we felt like the earlier we did that would be better for us and him.
Seriously, the longer this goes, this move is just going to look insanely good for Philly. But I also love the fact that this just totally dispelled the notions from conspiracy theorists about AJ wanting out and the Eagles not seriously interested in committing to AJ long term. Oh yeah, or the fact that Smitty and AJ just don't get along, as DeVonta went ahead and made sure to tag Big Sills with a reminder.
Did that go the way you thought it was going to go? Nope.
Not gonna lie, I mean, that move was a little bit unexpected in terms of how early Howie got an extension done with AJ, but that's what makes Howie so great. Although while that was unexpected, it wasn't nearly as shocking as the way the draft started, with 14 offensive picks going in the first 14 picks. And just for those counting, that literally doubled the previous record of 7 in 2021. I mean, you couldn't have scripted a better start for Philly in the draft, which is the exact opposite for what happened with Atlanta, since their selection at 8 was pure insanity, after they selected Washington quarterback Michael Penix despite paying Kirk Cousins $100+ million. And oh, by the way, Penix literally didn't even have a clue he was going to get taken by Atlanta, which I guess is whatever, yet what's not whatever is the fact that Kirk Cousins also had no clue, admitting to Daniel Jeremiah that he was never informed.
Did you see the memo about this?
I honestly don't know in what world this makes sense. Like, it's not the best look when your GM is saying afterward, if Penix sits 4 or 5 years, that's a great problem to have because we're doing so well at the position. For real, I'm not making that up. That's the actual quote here. I mean, I'm glad the Falcons feel like they can just sit on a top 10 pick and let him live out his rookie contract where he doesn't have to play, but that's just unbelievable. Don't get me wrong, I love hearing GMs feel the need to defend picks because nothing screams, oh F, I made the wrong pick. Like Jerry Jones starting off his presser saying, I don't want to get defensive, but let me talk to you guys about the cap. This coming after taking Tyler Guyton in the first round. Or there's San Francisco, who also kind of reached at 31 to take Florida's Ricky Pearsall, only for John Lynch to text Adam Schefter his justification for that pick afterward, citing Brandon Ayuk being in the last year of his deal, Juwan Jennings also being in the last year of his deal, and then Deebo Samuel having 2 years left.
That doesn't make sense.
No, it really doesn't, or at least that high on Pearsall. Again, you guys know I've talked about Pearsall quite a bit. I like him. There's a lot of eliteness in his game and ready-made to show up from day one, but it feels like a little bit of a reach there for San Francisco. Although while we're on the topic of wide receiver, the Chiefs did make a good move getting Texas wide receiver Xavier Worthy, aka the fastest man in the NFL, after Buffalo decided to trade with their arch nemesis, leaving Tom Grossi to say the Bills are totally at fault if the Chiefs win another Super Bowl, which makes sense and is why one AFC GM texted Jordan Schultz afterward and said, quote, F me. Apparently, that was the same utterance from the Joneses in the Cowboys draft room after Philly made the pick for Quinyon Mitchell. And sure, I predicted it beforehand, but realistically, I never thought it'd actually happen at 22. Of course, give Pro Football Network's Anthony DeBona his roses, though, because he called it ever since January.
Quinyon Mitchell is someone that's the number one cornerback on my board. People might think I'm crazy, but I think he's going to test really well. He's probably going to run in the 4.3s. He's a super physical cornerback, which I personally love and value highly when I evaluate defensive backs. Because as you saw with the Eagles last season, once runners got to the outside to their cornerbacks, there was a lot of missed tackles. And you wouldn't really have to worry about that with a player like Mitchell. So that's something that I value highly, and I think he would be a home run for them at 22.
I'm still a little bit in disbelief, like I was during our live stream last night whenever it first happened. But after so many offensive players went, this pick just made too much sense.
He played a tremendous amount of off coverage at Toledo, and I think when we talk about finishing the process, you got to see him play press coverage at the Senior Bowl. That was really an opportunity to see him kind of finish that and be well-rounded. And so I think that really helped us see that he had a diverse array of skill sets there, because that was one of the concerns when you see him play, that he's only playing a certain way and he's allowing his eyes to lead him to the ball. And so when he got in people's face at the Senior Bowl, we thought he was one of the best players at the Senior Bowl. Against really good competition, against really good receiving class. You know, we say a bunch of them come off today, and we'll see a bunch of those guys come off tomorrow. So I think that was important for us.
I feel like right now I'm with the right fit. I'm with the right organization. We're the right players, right city. So, I mean, I feel good about this draft pick right here. I feel like my whole life I've just been trying to demand respect. I mean, coming from a small town, coming from a small college, just wanted to demand that respect. Felt like I did that through my college career and through the pre-draft process.
Okay, for real, how can you not love this pick? All right, sure, I get the idea of Toledo and a lack of competition, but Quinyon is just different. Seriously, watch the tape. He moves incredibly well, clearly fits Fangio's scheme perfectly with his ability to play off coverage and quarters, and even called out wide receivers at the Senior Bowl while locking them down. Again, like Howie mentioned in his presser, but Quinyon checks all the boxes. Plus, if you're buying that SEC bias, even Nick Saban admitted that Quinyon was at the top of their list last year for guys they tried to get into the portal, but he wouldn't budge. Look, I think that tells you all you need to know, that Saban wanted Quinyon in Alabama. However, if you need more proof, he's the only player to have been clocked at nearly 24 miles per hour in practice, only FBS player since 2000 with 4 interceptions and 2 pick sixes in one game, didn't commit a penalty in 2023 and only 1 flag in 2022, plus he started 40 straight games at Toledo, and by the way, the dude ran a 4.33 and can squat 555 pounds, which is why Uncle Ocho got a word for people who don't understand how great a pick this is.
He ain't go to no big school, so you didn't see him. So unless you scouted him or know what you're looking for when you look at him,
right,
it goes over your head.
Man,
so we're looking at his feet. We're looking at how he turns his hips.
Yeah.
We're watching him transition.
Right.
Okay. Can he backpedal? Can he and come?
Yeah. Every time.
Okay. Can he and get those hips around? Because that's what I'm looking at. Look at his feet.
Yeah.
Look at his feet.
Mm-hmm.
Ain't no elongated motion of face chopping. Hey, he's sitting back there in that crouch.
Yeah.
I'm coming.
Listen, I watched the film on him on the inside in the slot. I seen him on the outside with bigger receivers, with smaller receivers, and he's changing up his technique based on the type of receiver he's covering. Man.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Bill Belichick also loves the pick, depending on if that helps you in the case of their argument. Of course, Micah Parsons absolutely hated it.
I'm honestly utterly disgusted on how lucky the Eagles are. It's just like Chris, I do not know how he fell that far with this run of offensive tackles and quarterbacks. That's the only thing that makes sense. I thought he was a top 15, top 12 talent, and he just fell right into their laps.
And he was your favorite player?
he was definitely one of my more favorite players in this draft. Like I said, he rose in every bar. He hit he checked every box. And like I said, we don't know what Darius, and the mentors, he has one of the best quarterbacks to play the game, Darius Slay, to mentor him. They still got Elias Ricks, who stepped over big time last year.
Yes, he did.
They got James Bradbury, a guy who may not have the big year he wanted, like the year he had before, his all-pro year, but he's still a good quality player, and you just add him and he can play inside or out. I think this is a great pick. I mean, I think this is a terrific pick, man. I don't know how Howie and them get so lucky.
It's not luck. It's just that when Howie Roseman goes all in, well, he just kind of does. I mean, he means it instead of whatever Jerry Jones is actually doing. And one more thing I got to bring up is Slay was asked if he thinks Quinyon is coming for his job, to which he replied saying he hopes so, and he's going to make sure Quinyon's ready to go when his time is up. Unfortunately for James Bradbury, I think the writing's on the wall and he can just go ahead and pack up his bag, because ain't no way you're drafting a first-round corner with this kind of talent to have him sit. Which is why I'd expect a post-June 1st designation, take your losses, and move on. Or who knows, maybe Howie can magically find a trade partner, but I highly doubt it. Anyway, how are y'all feeling about this? Reminder, the Eagles have 2 first-round picks for tonight, and plus could draft back or move back in the draft. You got Edgerrin Cooper is a trade-up scenario in play there. Also Cooper to Gene. There's tons of options, so come hang out with us. Reactions, highlights, coverage, everything else, and going to be doing a couple other giveaways. Either way, let's just say the vibes are going to be good because BG is even announcing the Eagles picks. So let's go, baby. Night 1 was insane, and we are just getting started. I'll catch you guys on the live stream. This has been the Philly Special.